the alumni, beyond just being able to get together, there is a message. So if someone is able to capture the relationship, the work style, the habits of work, opening labs at 6 o'clock in the morning, these are the things I think that need to be documented. They must be captured. They should be kept somewhere. That was the time. This is how this country was built. This is how this institution was built. And the work habits of the students at that time. Some of them may be humorous. Some of them. So I don't know how much can be done. Probably it's electoral. In fact, at one time when I was a Vice Chancellor, I made an offer to the alumni, the older people. I'll give a clerical stenographic staff and given a computer and put it in the alumni club. You can come there and sit down and write and dictate whatever you want and capture. Someone will be able to compile it and document it. See, as a nation, we are very poor in documentation. Just like in our family, I don't know before my great-grandfather, before that I don't even know who it was, where they came from. We don't document them. The more than 3 generations, I don't think people document even their whole family. But at least in the life of a nation, document how people who built up. And that is a pride. It's not for some kind of boasting, but it is the pride in terms of. So I think this alumni association can play a great role in other foreign countries, as you are probably all of you have known. Great institutions like Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and even public institutions like Penn State and many others, Minnesota, where I went to, they are sustained by alumni and alumni contributions. Alumni have a very intensive role in the building up of that institution, in promoting that institution, in improving the stature of that institution, participating in everything in a very, very deeply attached way to the institution they come from. And their contribution to the institutions is not in millions, hundreds of millions of dollars they give. Either the alumni or the people who appreciate the existence of that institution. Somebody will, I give $200 million to this institution, just like that. And that is our institution. Today the government and they don't depend on, many of the institutions don't depend on the government. Even those who depend on the government make the best use of the kind of money that comes. And fortunately this culture exists in some of the few institutions in this country also. Pune Engineering College is a very great beneficiary, old institution compared to the Roorkee. And all the IITs today, it's a huge amount. IIT, every one of the IITs alumni, the endowment fund is of the order of 500 crores, 600 crores. This is the order. Besides all the other contributions they were able to make for the construction of this building, that building, etc. Each IIT has IIT Kanpur has about 40 chairs instituted by alumni in the name of either the alumni or their parents or their well-wishers and so on. Why I am saying all this is the relationship between the alumni institution goes beyond a casual visit once in a while. Not for themselves, but for the posterity. But then, to be able to do that, and now that Chellappan is here, and Chellappan is very happy, he's the dean and all that, the institution also should deserve that. Many of these institutions, people do it because they feel attached to that institution. Why? Because the institutions continue to maintain the stature which was there when they were a student. The institution faculty have the stature which was existing at the time when they were there. The institution is free from corruption. The institution free from scandals. The institution has got dignified respects. The institution has made contribution to the society in 1, 2, 3, 4 manner. So there are a number of attributes of an institution which automatically invokes people even without asking. They give you millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. So it is both ways. It is in terms of the responsibility of the institution to be able to evoke the participation of the alumni. Now if the alumni comes and there's not anybody to respond to the enthusiasm that the alumni show, then the institution will not be able to. But unfortunately, in many of our institutions that I know of in this country were great institutions. I've been going through the history of the Roorkee, Punjab, very early in the British time, in the pre-British time, the Punjab University and Sipur, and I've been involved in a project connected with the early stage, early development of the Indian engineering education, and Gindi is one of them, and how it was built up and so on. And what is the kind of salary people got at that time? 3 annas was the faculty salary for a teacher in the Gindi Engineering College. And so this is the kind of time that it has happened. But anyway, my only request would be that sometime there is need to, for the emotional, beyond the emotional attachment, Dr. Jagadisan once said that he met the people in San Francisco, Bay Area Gindi students, they call bags. So like that, I here and there you run into, the minute you say I'm an old student of Gindi, something clicks, something goes, and that kind of feeling should happen to the present generation of students who come out of Gindi. And what will happen, I don't know, but only some initiative on your part to capture what was there and what it could be, what would have been. I think some project of that kind, particularly the wives of who can spare more time, more energy than some of the husbands, I think is one way of doing it. I want to thank you for this great opportunity and wish you well and enjoy yourself, and today and tomorrow in Pondicherry and within limits. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words, and thank you for endorsing our motto in nation building. Now I request Padmanabhan to please come forward to hand over the memento.
It's put on the wall in every classroom. The furniture in that particular hall, it said rostrum. It's not rostrum. 99% of the people call it as rostrum or something else. Not even 1% seems to know the correct term for it. Anyone here? This side, not here. Lecture? Lecture, that's the term. Where you give a lecture. Of course, it comes from the church actually. Anyway, we will not go into it. So I collected all the arrows kept on the lectern, and then I started throwing the same arrows in different directions. Northeast corner, northwest corner. They were stunned. Then I was turning to the board, writing something on the board. I heard a whistling noise. I turned to the board and I gave the same sound. They realized they have met the match. That is the end. That is the beginning and the end. No more trouble from the students. We have become friends. So we always give back. what we received. Now, we were happy to receive a memento from you. I'd like to give something to the batch of 1964. I told you I am editing a journal. I am giving a copy of the latest issue, January 2014. When you are going to Pandi, read it. You won't have time to read anything when you reach Pandi. Or when you get back, on the way back, you read it. If you find it interesting, contribute to it. You are about 70 to 80 of us told. About 20 of you give some write-up or the other. It could be technical, what you have done in these 50 years. It could be probably what you went through in those 5 years when you were with us. It could be some interesting stories. 20 pieces. I'll publish them. Along with probably your group photograph, which you'll be taking a few minutes now. No financial commitments. Only this. Use your graces and give your contributions. And thank you. I'll give it to Dr. Paramasiva. This is the cover page. Golden color. This we have called as Prodigy Special. And on the cover page I put Sachin Tendulkar's picture. Bacha Sachin and Bharat Ratna Tendulkar. One of the greatest players of cricket and one of the greatest sportsmen, the only one to be given the Bharat Ratna title by the government. And there are many other prodigies covered here. And see this, if you like it, give your contributions to go into one of the issues in the coming days. There are also business things.
My apologies. Actually, the ladies wanted to say something on this occasion. So, is it, yeah, please come forward. Mrs. Shamla, is it?
Shamla, wife of Mr.
Mr. Ramakrishnan, yes.
இங்கு கூடியிருக்கும் அனைத்து பொறியியல் வல்லுநர்களுக்கும் மேடையில் இருந்திருக்கும் பொதுமக்களுக்கும் எனது வணக்கம் உரித்தாகுக. இந்த பொது விழாவை கொண்டாடும் batch 1959 to 64 College of Engineering Ginti இந்த பொன்னாண்டு விழாவை காணும் இந்த பொறியியல் வல்லுநர்களின் இந்த அழைப்புக்கு பின்னணியில் திரு துக்காராம் அவர்களுக்கும் திரு ராமசாமி அவர்களுக்கும் திரு கதிர்வான் அவர்களுக்கும் பேபி என்று அழைக்கப்படும் திரு தகுநாதன் அவர்களுக்கும் திரு கருணேசன் அவர்களுக்கும் எங்களது நன்றி உரித்தாகுகிறார். இதற்கு பின்னணியில் இது ஒரு கல்வியாக பரிந்துரையும் சமயத்தில் வருகிவிட்ட திருமதி சுஷீலா அவர்களுக்கும் எங்களது நன்றி உரித்தாகுகிறார். இந்த உழைப்பின் பின்னணியில் அவர்களுடைய விடாமுயற்சியும் இந்த பன்னாட்டு நாளை பந்தாடு விதத்தில் செலவிட்டிருக்கிறது என்பது நாம் இப்போது அதனமாக நன்றாக கலந்து கருத்துக் கொண்டு நான் அவர்களுடைய பேராசிரியர்கள் நமது கலைஞர்களை நன்றாக வெளிச்சென்று அழைக்கப்பட்டது நான் வந்து காலம் வருவதற்கு எனக்கு மகிழ்ச்சியாக இருக்கிறது. இந்த தர்மபுரத்து பேராசிரியர்கள் குறிப்பாக மெட்ரிக்கல்
Thank you, ma'am. We are, all of us, my friends will join me in thanking our better halves for all the support they have given during our career, and without which I think we wouldn't have won this prize. Thank you once again. Now we move on to the final item of the program. He has already been referred to. He was the blue-eyed boy of the class. He ventured into cable manufacturing and rose to the position of GM of Inca Cables. He started his own cable manufacturing unit and managed it till 2000. Later he became a management consultant, and since 2008 he devotes his full time to the cause of GE64. I now invite Padmanabhan to propose a vote of thanks.
Dr. Ananthakrishnan, our esteemed professors, friends and families. I don't want this to be a very formal vote of thanks. So I may digress. I may mix up my language. Please bear with me. I was wondering where to start this vote of thanks. Kadir has made a beginning by trying to list out my achievements and all that. There is an occasion more for all of us to get together and celebrate and also remember our institution. So thanks first should go to the institution. So really we are bottom of the heart, we should thank the institution and the professors who assembled here at our invitation, who come and say a few nice words, and really thankful for all of them for reminiscing, giving us a chance to reminisce about our past. Now, Professor Sadasivam phone பண்ணி கூப்பிட்டேன். I went back to my E5 days. We used to call it E5. For those who don't know, it is the first year of engineering. எல்லாருக்கும் ரொம்ப பயம் வர பீரியட் அது. இப்பெல்லாம் ragging பத்தி lot of anti-ragging and lot of laws and all that. Up there was nothing. We were ragged very freely. So I was ragged on the telephone by Professor Sadasivam, asking about not only Jubilee dates and years, but also about my knowledge of Tirukkural. I think I have done fair bit of justice. He gave me some homework, but also I read and gave to him whatever Kural he wanted. So these things.
Were you that good in those days?
Yes, sir?
Were you this good in those days?
Yes, yes. Thank you for all the kind words of advice, and also on their behalf, Dr. Ananthakrishnan suggested we should keep in touch with our institution. This hall and the hall on the second floor, where our friends are staying now, were not there a few years ago. When we met last time, rather before we met, alumni association ஏதாவது பண்ணணும்னு we decided. That at the time they were contemplating building the second floor, putting a lift, making some rooms. So we collected some amount and contributed. Fruit of that, நாங்கள் வந்து இப்போ நேரில் பார்க்குறோம், some of our friends are already staying there. I think this second floor was completed in 2011 or 12? 2011 it was completed. Our last meet was in 2009. We gave our some humble contribution. It's not the amount that matters, it's the thinking that matters. We have to keep remembering our alma mater. Next to our parents, this is what gave us the education, our standing in life, everything. So we should keep in touch and do whatever best we can to the institution. And I just finally want to thank all our friends for having responded to our call and coming in great numbers. I see the hall is full now. We have extended it right up to the last row. We should keep up this enthusiasm. We should celebrate more jubilees. We will get the number from Professor, whatever the name, 51, 52, whatever. We will celebrate, and I do hope and pray that all these professors are again able to come and bless us on those occasions also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Padmanabhan. Now I request Tukaram to give a memento to our Secretary, Alumni Association. Thank you.